All right, a very good evening to all of you. The last stream ended for God knows what reason. So here I am, and I think the link is being shared with people, so I'll just wait for a minute or two. All right. So it's called the best strategy to read Aeon Essays for CAT preparation. Something which a lot of you were waiting for, because in the live classes that I discussed, people were like so much, kind of confused how to read something, how to write the summary of something, how to read Aeon Essays. Aeon Essays are huge, they are big, isn't it? So what needs to be done? That is something which people were kind of very much stressed about. Thought of having a session, a strategy read Aeon Essays. So I would like to do one thing, all of you. Okay? So I think all of you are part of some kind of group, right? So I'll be sharing a link of an Aeon essay which I want you guys to open, So I'll be sharing that link within 10 minutes. All right. And tell me if you can open that. So while watching this live session, at the very same time, you can just start, or you can have two windows. One is for the session and the other will be for the Aeon essay that I have chosen. All right, is that clear? I hope that's clear. Okay, so in the chat box itself, I'll be sharing that link. Not now, maybe 15 minutes down the line, I'll be doing that. Okay, Utsav. Talking about quants. Utsav, okay, do one thing, just connect to me over a call. I will be guiding you better. In this session, let's stick to the agenda of Aeon Essays so that everyone who will be watching the recording would not get confused at why I am talking about quants in this session. Okay, just connect to me once. All right. So I'm repeating. People have joined. I don't think people, because the last live ended suddenly. So I'll just repeat that today we'll be discussing. I told you that there'll be a series of sessions called how to read Aeon Essays, how to read editorials or read articles, etc. And what has to be, the best strategy to read Aeon Essays for CAT preparation and what to take out of it. Okay, so we'll be discussing that all. The very same time, I will also be, after 15 minutes, for the example, I'll be sharing a link with you of Aeon Essays in this comment box only. You can just click on that and open that Aeon essay. Okay, so we'll do that. लक्षिका वही तो बता रहा हूँ. ओके, जो सेशन में ले रहा हूँ, जैसे कल मैंने लिया था कि वोकैबलरी का था, माइथोलॉजी बेस्ड वोकैबलरी, आज इसका है, कल फिर एक और वोकैबलरी सेशन होगा. सो बेसिकली देयर विल बी सीरीज ऑफ 10-15 सेशंस and you just stick to that and to the live classes, things will be sorted. In addition to practicing questions also. Okay, so first of all, why should we read Aeon Essays? That is the first thing which comes to mind. Okay, we're talking everything about Aeon today, each and everything. Akash, yeah, you are realizing a mistake. It has to be realized. So first of all, people say that this is a huge essay. Why to read it? Or how to read it? So, but why one should read? There is a reason. First is, it covers diverse topics like philosophy, psychology, science, history, etc. Majorly it is philosophy and psychology, majorly. But there can be blend of history and other things as well, science as well. Okay, so Aeon in itself is a huge company which has got different magazines and different video essays as well. The video essays as well, but we concern only about the written essays. So it covers diverse topics, and you know that philosophy, psychology, science, history are one of the favorite topics for CAT question makers to create an RC passage. Okay, second is improve critical thinking and reading speed. Now, how is that possible? Reading speed. See, the thing is, as Akash said, that he did not have the, habit of reading something. How many of you are not into reading? Not habitual of reading, which is very common these days because people majorly they just go for watching the reels and videos attention span is very less these days. 1.5 minutes reel is also something which people cannot watch these days, isn't it? Anushka, thank you for saying that. Right. So, reading an essay for 15-20 minutes and you cannot just see any video, so that is something which is not very 21st century-ish, isn't it? People don't like it these days. So, if you start reading, you read one essay, two essays, three essays, automatically after some point of time, you would be knowing about some words which you did not knew earlier. So, did not know earlier, right? So, sometimes why our reading speed is slow? First of all, let's discuss that. Why reading speed is slow? The first thing is no habit of reading. That is one thing. Other is low vocabulary. And less grammatical knowledge. I think there are these three things which are responsible for low reading speed, isn't it? There's one more which is not universal for everyone. That is a topic is not interesting. Interest in the topic. So there are some people who read a lot of scientific articles, scientific journals, but not the philosophical ones. This is something which is subjective. Like some people can have interest in some article, some genre, some will be in other. So these are the four major reasons that why reading speed is slow, isn't it? Now tell me how many of you relate to any one or more than 1 points over here. Well, I will come to that. First we'll talk about reading speed, then we'll come to comprehension as well. We'll go there. Shivam will be doing all the things. Editorial should be read, essay should also be read, because in the series of these sessions, today's Aeon Essays, I'll be coming with editorials as well. So right now, when will be teaching you about Aeon Essays, start reading that. Day after tomorrow, it will be editorials or articles. Start doing that on. Okay? All above. Anup says all of it. Okay. So, the moment you start reading, what happens? First of all, because there will be some words which you don't know about, so you'll basically look up those words in Google, maybe dictionary. So vocabulary will be improving, which I always see in the live classes as well, because I'm sharing glossary with you these days. And also, I've started a series of vocab booster classes. So whatever words you read, the words which are new, just note them down. Just by noting the words down would not help increase your vocabulary. You have to use that also. How would you use that? I'll be talking about that in the second half of the session, today's session. But vocabulary will be improved because you'll be looking up the words. Then, grammatical knowledge. Now, grammar is something which all of us have read, but we hardly follow. Even if you have, let's say, some other mother tongue, which can be Hindi, Bangla, Telugu, whatever. So, tell me something. Do you actually follow grammar in your own mother tongue? Yes or no? I don't think so. I don't think so. People hardly follow grammar. Some people do, some purist people do. Purist means people who believe in structure of language, arts, music, basically. So, now grammar is something which all of us have done, but we haven't ever thought about structure, because somehow whatever we were doing in the schools or college, it was being done even in the language that we know. A little bit of English and a lot of our mother tongue, isn't it? That is there, है ना? तो काम चल ही जा रहा है, समझ में आ ही जा रहा है. There are a lot of people who tell me that why to study so much languages. Some people, even some people who, my friends, some of my family members, they are like, इतना तुम क्यों English या हिंदी इतना क्यों पढ़ते हो? इतनी तो हिंदी इंग्लिश हम सबको आती है कि हम बात कर सकते हैं. So language for communication, isn't it? If I want to tell something to you, if I want, let's say, a cup of tea from you, I can just, speak that kind of English or Hindi, whatever, isn't it? A lot of people must have done that. Shravani, it will be happening today only. Okay? So, now the problem is, if you want to communicate, then I tell them, then what's the need of having language? You can just, you do the sign language. You want to have a cup of tea, just show it like this. He will guess, cup, kya, coffee, chai, isn't it? You want to, write something, just do it like this. Okay, so you want to kiss something, just pout your lips. So then there's no need of language at all. Language is required. The main necessity of language is to impart and share knowledge. That is the main thing. That is why language was built in the first place. Things that we observe, things that we visualize, how to pass on that to other people through language, written language, spoken language. That is why we have writers and speakers. Do you get that? Now, the thing is, being a manager, because you're going to do an MBA, so would you require that kind of language? Obviously, yes, because you will be in leadership positions, and unless, let's say you have great ideas, fantabulous ideas, and you are not able to express those ideas to your seniors, subordinates, your colleagues, then what is the need? What is the point of having a fabulous idea which you can't even communicate properly? You can just say, you can use few words. Okay, मेरे पास ये idea है, इसको ऐसे का ऐसे ऐसा कर देंगे. But you won't be having enough stories to tell, enough trivia to share, enough flowery language to motivate people. Why we use idioms, phrases, muhavre, lokoktiyan? The reason is, once someone uses that, you get impressed. Yes or no? Tell me. If someone uses idioms, very beautiful language, don't you get impressed? You do get impressed. So a person who has, let's say, an average idea but great communication skills can be more successful than the one who has great ideas but low communication skills. Do you agree or not? Do you agree? I'll just repeat. A person with average ideas with excellent language skills, linguistic skills, can be more successful than someone who has fantastic ideas but no communication skills, right? That is one point. Also, once your communication, verbal communication is sorted, automatically, and this will be sorted through a lot of reading. When you read things, you'll be getting a lot of knowledge. So obviously, in a communication, when you are giving some speech or having a group discussion, automatically your knowledge is, I would say you have a lot of knowledge and you know the language. Obviously, you'll be more confident. So your body language will be more confident. Your eyes will be shining. Your hands will be moving perfectly. You'll be having a stiff, not stiff, but a proper, confident walking style, isn't it? So all of it comes through reading and reading. Now, to help you, in my capacity, being a trainer of VARC, what I will do, so I made a reading club, okay, and I was like, okay, people will be very interested. They were interested, but when it came to implementation stage, people were not present in that class. But now you have promised me that you will be there. So reading club, I started for the same reason. Then I felt that still people are not doing, let me do something else. So I talked to people, took the feedback. They were like, sir, हमें तो grammar भी नहीं आता, vocabulary भी कमज़ोर है, हम पढ़ते भी नहीं हैं, है ना? हम घूमने भी नहीं जाते, पता नहीं हम क्या करते हैं, कुछ तो करते हैं, but पता नहीं क्या करते हैं. So I thought, let us have a structure of everything. That is why I came up with the vocabulary booster sessions and how to read sessions, how to write sessions. So what you have to do, because this structure is not going to be with you anytime in the life soon, in the future, it never happened in the past. This is the best time, best opportunity for you guys to actually be a pro in language, in English language. Is that clear? So vocabulary, I'm covering. Habit, I'm developing in you through reading club. Interest in topic will be done because we'll be having how to read sessions. Now grammar, this is something which I'll be adding more because some people told me that why not we should have some kind of grammar lessons, because that will be useful in para-jumbles and odd one out and sequencing of paragraphs and even in sentence correction, the fill in the blanks part, right? So I'm thinking of having a grammar series as well. Do you want me to have this grammar sessions as well? Tell me in the comments. If yes, I'll be including grammar sessions as well on YouTube. Cool. Critical thinking. Once you read, you find the flow of the language, flow of words, flow of sentences, flow of ideas, that what idea should come after what idea. They'll be helping you in CAT as well, not just in your daily communication, also in CAT, because parajumbles, odd one out, are like that only, verbal ability basically, right? So, having said that, the next is, it trains your mind to understand author's tone, arguments, and inferences. Now you know, a question, direct question on tone has never been asked in the last 10 years of history of CAT, but still we focus on tones for one simple reason, because tone can give you enough idea about the key primary purpose of the author, main and supporting ideas of the author. That is the reason tone is important. Arguments, what kind of argument has author made, and any inferences. By the way, if you remember your live classes, can you recall, a lot of questions were there, that if this is true, then the author's argument will be most weakened argument, isn't it? In every passage that we do, we normally have a question on argument, the author's argument. The problem is that sometimes people are not able to answer that question because they fail to recognize the author's argument. They fail to identify what the author argument is, isn't it? Is that so? You will say, okay, हम weekend तो कर लेंगे, strengthen कर लेंगे, लेकिन हमें पता ही नहीं कि argument कौन सा है. There were 3 different arguments, probably. Some people say that, okay, argument is something when you fight with each other. Argument हो गया आपस में, है ना? So, okay, so author's argument can be understood if we read a lot. Subconsciously, our mind keeps on, training ourselves, just like machine learning. And obviously, I am also there to train you in case you fail sometime. Inferences, the most famous 50% of the questions in RC are inference based. Almost 50%, right? Yes or no? Can you recall that? And Aeon Essays mimic. Mimic means बिल्कुल वैसा ही होता है. Yeah, Ayush. So you can relate to the problems that I mentioned, right? When CAT RC passages in structure and complexity. इसलिए Aeon Essays, and many a time Aeon Essays have been taken as passages in reading comprehension section of CAT. All right, that is why we should read it. Now, step by step strategy to read Aeon Essays. हमें क्यों करना है वो तो हम समझ गए हैं, कैसे करना है इसके बारे में बात करेंगे अभी. All right, all of you with me, interested? So next episode of this series has come now. Step by step strategy to read Aeon Essays. How to read that? First, read the first few lines intelligently. Read the first few lines, ठीक है? Intelligently, what does that mean? Intelligently? The first few lines when you read the essay, and that you don't have to just, keep on blabbering what is written over there or vocalizing that. Any word which you don't know, you should look up the word. You should try to identify that how words have been used, what word is used after what. Is there any root word involved? Is there some word whose meaning you don't know, but contextually you can derive the meaning? So these are the intelligent reading parameters. Okay. Second is the first 3-5 sentences tell you what? The moment you read the first few lines, the first 3 to 5 sentences will tell you topic of the essay. Okay? And I will actually give you an example also. Topic मालूम पड़ जाएगा. There was a very famous question in CAT, these days they don't ask it, that what can be the most suitable title of the passage. In some other management exams, they ask this question as well. Topic of the essay, author stance, neutral, analytical, argumentative, कि author कैसा है, author का mindset क्या था इस चीज़ को लिखने के लिए. Okay? Then, direction of the argument. Where the argument is going. Is it going in the favor of something, against something? Is it a theory? Is it a hypothesis? Is it a law? Is it proven? Is it verifiable? And all that stuff. By the way, when you do this, because Aeon Essays are huge, they'll be having close to 2,500 words. You can't read that much. You don't have that kind of time. Obviously, we should read everything. When I used to read, back in my day, I used to read all the words. The problem is you have to read a lot and you don't have much time left for CAT. So that is the reason that I have come up with this kind of strategy in which you'll read the first 3 to 5 sentences, you'll get these things, Ignore flowery language, focus on the author's intent. All right, now this would actually help you in gaining enough linguistic expertise for clearing the CAT exam. But at the very same time, you won't become a great speaker all of a sudden. Okay? ये बात क्लियर है? तो मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि ये पढ़ के तुम बहुत शशि थरूर बन जाओगे, बहुत बड़े स्पीकर बन जाओगे. Not really, but you will have enough knowledge of language so that you can crack CAT exam with flying colors. But after the CAT is over, we'll be having more sessions which will be focused on personal interview and writing ability and group discussion in some cases where I'll be focusing on flowery language as well. By the way, idioms and phrases is also part of this vocab series. Okay, so while reading 3 to 5 lines, we'll tell you these things. If there is any flowery, what is flowery language? Atharva? Yeah, they are big. That is the reason I'm telling us the strategy. Flowery language. कैसा होता है? The words which you don't use normally, point number 1. The words which do not add much value to the given arguments. Once you identify the topic, author stance and the argument, then a lot of words can be beating around the bush or they can be superfluous. What is superfluous? Something which is not relevant to the core idea, but it is just, it just strengthens the argument in totality. That is superfluous or redundant, not required. तो ऐसा होगा 50 वर्ड्स में से हो सकता है कि 10 वर्ड्स ही ऐसे हों जो तुम्हारे काम के हों, जो आइडिया मिल जाएगा. Other things will be just flowery or maybe superfluous. Is that clear? Fancy language, filler words, yes. Now, step 2. Step 1 is over, clear? I hope you're writing it somewhere, aren't you? You're writing, yes. ठीक है. By the way, I think all of you, anyone here who is not a student of iQUANTA, or my student? If there is no one, I'll do one thing, because I have also prepared a PDF of it. A complete PDF. I'll be sharing it on maybe iQUANTA's page or maybe on my LinkedIn profile. You can just go there and download the PDF. But for now, just keep on noting down the things. Now, step 2 is identify the big ideas. When I say big ideas, what does that mean? So, Aeon Essays are about perspectives, not facts. This is very important. Very, very, very important. Why not facts? They are essays. See, facts, whenever they are used in Aeon Essays, are used for examples. It's not a news portal. You get that? Facts are majorly part of news portals. So if you open Economic Times or The Hindu, the Business Standard, you'll get facts over there. Hardly there'll be any perspectives. Do you understand it or not? Editorials have facts as well as perspectives, but Aeon Essays are majorly perspectives. If there's a fact, it will be only for example. Getting it, all of you? Understood? So if there are no facts, then there is nothing much to remember about it, isn't it? You will be more interested in reading between the words, not what has been explicitly mentioned, because there is no explicit mention of so many things. By today, or till today, whatever Aeon Essays you have read, now tell me something, did you relate to it? Have you read it? If you have read it, then tell me something. Can you recall any kind of fact that you learned from Aeon Essay? Huh? Yes, Sudeep, I'm repeating. Any kind of fact? नहीं याद होगा, पर्सपेक्टिव याद होगा कि ऑथर इस बारे में कुछ एक बहुत ही अच्छी बात कर रहा था या उसको सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा था. But I'm sure about this somehow, hey Mayank, that you cannot recall any fact. But if you read something from an editorial or an article or a journal, you can recall some kind of facts. So this is very important. Perspective, not facts. And perspectives are important because perspectives form the critical reasoning part of any language. Facts do not form the part of a language. Facts are basically facts, data elements which form the knowledge, not the language. Is that clear? So Aeon Essays are majorly focused on building language, not building knowledge. Clear? In the next session, there will be on editorials. I'll be discussing facts and perspectives both. Cool? Great. Second, ask yourself, what is the author trying to prove? फैक्ट्स नहीं ना, तो ऑथर कुछ प्रूव करना चाह रहा होगा ना, किसकी ये चीज़ सही है, ये चीज़ गलत है, ये गलत थी पहले अब सही हो गई है या सही नहीं होगी, ऑल दैट स्टफ. ओके, व्हाट इज ट्राइंग टू प्रूव? What examples support the claim? Now, examples can be some kind of facts, real data, support the claim. But more than examples, what is important? The claim. Is that clear? Then, is there a counter argument? This is very important. तुम example याद रखो ना रखो फर्क नहीं पड़ता, but claim क्या था याद रखना बहुत जरूरी है. The counter argument, whatever argument was made, is there some kind of counter made to it by the author himself or by some kind of quote, you understand? The author can quote someone, some other author, which can be counter argument. Anup, I told you, informative हो सकता है, but बहुत सारे facts नहीं होंगे. Facts होंगे तो example के form में होंगे. But Aeon Essays का जो main agenda है, that is perspective. Right? Look for transition words like however. On the other hand, the signal shifts in arguments. This is important. I remember probably last week only, or maybe 2 weeks earlier, when there's a word however, I suddenly jumped at it that now there is some kind of change happening. These are transition words. However, on the other hand, I'll also be taking session on transition words. Enrolled in March first week. Unable to do classes probably because of exams. Study every today. Yeah. It's possible. Start today. There is no wrong time to start a right thing. Okay, note it down somewhere. Chipkalo. There's no wrong time to start a right thing. Okay, and this time is sufficient. So this is very important. These transition words signal shifts in arguments. Counter argument, claim. All right. Now, step 3. Skim and jump strategically. Because it's a long essay, you won't be able to read every word. Obviously, you can read every word, but the problem is you don't have much time. So we should know the art of skimming. What to read carefully? Let's discuss that. First is the introduction. The introduction of the essay should be read carefully. It sets the entire context. You will get the idea that what is the topic of the entire passage and what kind of mindset author is having, okay, and what is going to be discussed, main idea as well. Clear? Then comes main arguments, which start from introduction only. Main argument usually in the first sentence of key paragraphs. So let's say an essay has 9 different paragraphs, okay? Okay, Akash. Who said rest was the right time? Okay, anyways, so let's say we have 9 paragraphs in total, okay? The first will be obviously the introduction. Second might be an extension of the introduction, isn't it? Third can be some examples which support the introduction. Fourth can be different opinions on the topic. This is how normally, if just taking an example in my head, introduction, extension of the introduction, examples, different opinions. Fifth can be a summary of the best opinions, okay? Best opinions. Sixth can be, let's say, some factual data to support. Okay. Seventh can be, let's say, author's own opinion. Eighth can be an open end to his opinion. बोलेगा शायद मैं सही नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. And ninth will be the conclusion. Normally, this is how an essay will look like, isn't it? So, which are the key paragraphs here? Introduction is the key paragraph. Okay. Different opinions is the key paragraph. Best is also key paragraph. Opinion is the key paragraph. Conclusion is the key paragraph. So here if you see these are key paragraphs. So usually in the first sentence of key paragraphs you will find the main arguments. Is that clear? Yes, you can message me on WhatsApp. Do you get it? I'll wait for 10 seconds. This example, you got that? The key paragraphs. I'll wait for 10 seconds. I'll just count 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Anup, in the factual data, you won't be getting the main argument. Okay? Anup, got it? We are discussing main arguments here. Well. Then comes conclusion, wraps with the key idea, जो मैंने यहाँ पे mark किया भी है, and what to skim. So this is what to read carefully. You got that? So there are two things. Reading carefully, अब बाकी जो skim करना है. What is skimming? Skimming is having a bird's eye view, just glancing through it, just reading bits and pieces of it, not everything. All right? देखा था? Okay. What's the name A, by the way? What is skim? Long examples and historical anecdotes. मैंने अभी ही कहा था, if you remember, that any kind of factual data was not the key paragraph. Right? Anup, got it? Long examples, historical anecdotes, इसको हमें skim करना है, छोड़ना नहीं है, just skim it. 2 words यहाँ पढ़े, 2 words अगले लाइन के पढ़े और आगे बढ़ गए. Because we have less time. अब ये मत कोई बोलना कि बाप नहीं आपने बोला कुछ ही पढ़ो, सब कुछ ना पढ़ो. सब कुछ इसलिए नहीं पढ़ना, ये सेशन का मेन एजेंडा ही यही है कि कम टाइम में हम कैसे ज़्यादा ऐसे पढ़ सके. लॉन्ग एग्जाम्पल्स, यू कैन जस्ट स्किम दैट. रिटोरिकल क्वेश्चंस एंड ओवर एक्सप्लेनेशंस. रिटोरिकल क्वेश्चंस क्या होते हैं? हु विल टेल मी दैट? आई नो व्हाट, आई समटाइम्स इन पोइट्री आई लव रिटोरिक. इन नॉर्मल conversation I sometimes hate rhetoric because when people come to you and they say, oh, how are you? आप कैसे हैं? Isn't it? I've seen the same people who send a message on WhatsApp, hey, how are you? Can I call you? I say, okay. The moment I pick the call, they ask again, hey, how are you? The problem is, do they actually want to know how am I? Not really. That's a rhetoric question. Getting it? The question whose answer probably doesn't exist or is not expected. So at one point of time, I was, kind of very frustrated because I'm purist in language. So somebody asked me, how are you? How are you? I was like, okay, I want to tell you how am I. I'm really, sad. I'm frustrated. Things are going south. Okay, my girlfriend's left me. My salary is delayed. You getting it? I've not been able to talk to my mom properly. I felt sick the last week. So that is how I am. So, the moment you start answering how are you, people will stop conversing with you. Got the idea? That's a rhetoric question. Over explanations. जितना ज़रूरी है उतना ही बोलेंगे. तो ये in the essay these things normally happen. But this is not an essay of UPSC. If you are preparing for UPSC, probably you will start writing all which are important. Rhetoric is important. Rhetoric is also figure of speech. This is also important while writing an essay. While analyzing an essay for CAT, it's not required. Okay. If a paragraph only explains an example, skim it. Clear? As I told you in my example, the example that I showed you, I think 5th paragraph was all about explaining the example, or 2nd paragraph is all about extending on the introduction, right? Well, step 4, summarize in 2 to 3 sentences. That is a very important step. Answer these in under 30 words. What? First, what was the main idea? So you have to write this in less than 30 words. After you're done reading, everybody, I'll just walk you through this process again. Step 1 was read the first few lines. The first 3-5 lines tell you topic, author stance, direction of the argument. After that, step 2 was identify the big ideas, perspectives, not facts. Ask yourself these questions. What is author trying to prove? What examples support the claim? Is there a counter argument? Okay, and look for transition words. Step 3, skim and jump strategically. What to read carefully? Introduction, sets the context, main arguments, usually in the first sentence of key paragraphs. How to identify key paragraphs, I told you that also. Conclusion, wraps up the key idea. After what to skim, long examples, historical anecdotes, rhetorical questions, over explanations. Paragraph 1 only explains an example, skim it. Step 4 is summarize in 2 to 3 sentences. That is the final step. Answer these in under 30 words. First is, what was the main idea? Okay, you will write that. Second, what was the author's perspective? In 30 words. तो लोग मुझे पूछ रहे, Shravani was asking me, have you taken the session on how to summarize? Shravani, every session that I'm going to take, how to read, will be ending with how to summarize. Okay? So this is that session only. But writing a summary of different things require different kind of mindsets, different kind of knowledge. Today we are discussing Aeon Essays, then we'll be discussing editorials, articles, novels, etc. All sorts of things. Is that clear? Is that cool? So, any key takeaway? If you can summarize in 3 lines, you understood the essay well. ठीक है? 30 words में तीनों चीज़ें लिखोगे और फिर इन तीनों का combination लिख दोगे in 3 lines, and that is how you will be sorted. Just do that and you'll be happy. You'll feel like, okay, now you know the essay. Let's have a practical example. तो होता क्या है ना, देखो, mathematics, data interpretation, whatever we say, any concept that we teach, we can have a practical example of that. And that is why it looks, okay, doable. In VARC, everything might sound philosophical, okay? Might sound redundant, might sound anecdotal, or maybe rhetoric. That is the reason that I'm trying to make VARC a scientific subject. Just like it should have a structure, just like science has or mathematics has. Clear? So whatever I have told right now, let's try to do it in practice. Clear, everyone? Understood? So I'm going to send you a link, and okay, here we have it. All of you are in some kind of WhatsApp group, yes or no? Yeah, Anup, that I'll be doing, no? Abhi. In which group should I send it? Where to send it? Can I send it on the... Okay, I can send it here only. On this chat only I'm sending. Here it goes. Is it visible? Is it visible, guys, or not? Not yet? Okay. Just a moment. Here we go again. Why is it so? Why can't I paste it? Because I have sent it to... Let me send it to my phone. Let's see. Should I send it to Kickstart group? Okay. Kickstarter Reading Club. Let me send it to Reading Club because I think everyone is there. Here we go. Yes, Arnav, they're not allowing links in the chat box. You're right. That is the reason I am sending it to Reading Club. Got it? So there are different reading clubs. I'll send it everywhere. So I would suggest you to open this. Got it, everyone? Everybody is on reading club, right? Cool. So you must have opened an essay which talks about, are you an artistic genius, isn't it? Abhishek, not in reading club. Then how should I send you? Yes, no, that is the Are you an artistic genius? आकाश ऐसे तो होते हैं. Those who are not in the reading club, you can do one thing. You can just type, okay, on Google you can just type, I'm sending on chat, you can be truly creative. I'm sending you a phrase, just type that on Google and you'll get that. Reading club link cannot be sent on the chat now, Abhishek and Yashika. So, can you see my comment over there? You can be truly creative if you let go of your assumption. ये same चीज़ type कर दो with Aeon on Google anywhere and you'll get the exact essay. This essay has, I think, 32 paragraphs. Yes or no? All of you got it? You can be truly creative if you let go of your assumptions, by James C. Kaufman. 7 p.m. class. Oh yes, it's a class at 7 p.m. अब क्या करें? ठीक है, एक काम करते हैं. This is your homework. Whatever I've told you, Aditya, thank you for saying that. So the way I've told you, just try to. You all have the essay. Just go through the essay and try to do the same things. And in fact, I have written all these steps. Possibly you can do one thing, and just take a screenshot of this, okay, and start reading the same way. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Take the screenshot and tell me taken. And as I promised, I'll also send the entire PDF of this, because I made it on probably on my LinkedIn or maybe on the Facebook group, and send the link on Reading Club. No, that's not the case. It's just that you do diverse reading. Okay? Taken. Shivam, from 9 p.m. हाँ, ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये काफ़ी important class लग रही है, isn't it? Because I can see that. But take a screenshot. From next time, let's have a proper, I think how to read and how to summarize should be a 2 hours long session. What do you think? If it is so, we can, I don't want you to, kind of miss that class, because that is also important. ठीक है, एक काम करते हैं, 2 घंटे क्लासेस करेंगे. यू गाइस आर फ्री ऑन वेंसडे एंड फ्राइडे. थोड़ा पहले कर लेंगे, 5 to 7 कर लेंगे. ओके. I wish you just search my name, Abhishek Leela Pandey, you will get all the IDs. I'm there on Google, easily searchable. Okay, so link, whatever IDs are there, you will get it. Cool, then I'll just stop it over here, and I'll share this PDF with you, or maybe I'll continue it within the next session also. I'll just mark session 2 to read Aeon Essays. Session 1 with लिखा है यहाँ पे ना, session 2 कर देंगे, and we can continue from there only. So let's continue in the second session. Till then, take the class, attend the class. तुम कल ही हम इसको शुरू कर देंगे. Tomorrow we'll start this. I'll read with you a proper Aeon essay. I'll change the essay. अब ये essay नहीं करेंगे. I'll change the essay. I'll have a new essay, and I'll have the same kind of strategy to do that. Okay. Take care, everyone. Middle, yes, you can.